Good day, students. Welcome to your virtual basic science class brought to you by digital science teacher Mr. Kehinde Adesina. I trust it's been captivating and interactive. In the lesson of today, we will be looking at the circulatory system of animals and the mechanism of transport in plants. Come along with me as we explore. First of all, let's look at the lesson outline of this lesson. In this lesson, we'll be looking at the mammalian circulatory system, the structure of the mammalian heart, and blood vessels. The circulatory system refers to the system of continuous movement of blood around the body involving the heart and the blood, including the blood vessels. Now, the mammalian circulatory system is composed of a pumping device called the heart, channel of transport called the blood vessels, and the medium of transportation, which is the blood itself. We are going to look at this part one after the other in this lesson. Let's begin by looking at the human heart. The human heart is a muscular and the most powerful organ of the body, which is responsible for the pumping of blood around the body. It will interest you to know that the heart works continuously throughout the lifespan of an individual. The heart is located within the chest or the thoracic cavity, behind the breastbone or the sternum, and in between the two lobes of the lungs. The human heart is divided into four main chambers, and these four chambers are divided into two sides, the right side and the left side. Here is a breakdown of the structure. The right side of the heart. The right side of the heart consists of the right auricle, or what we call right atrium. This is the top right chamber of the heart. It receives deoxygenated blood, that is, blood that is having poor oxygen, or blood that is oxygen poor. Then we have the right ventricle. This is the bottom right chamber of the heart. It pumps the deoxygenated blood from the right auricle to the lungs through the pulmonary artery, where it gets oxygen. The left side of the heart. The left side of the heart also have the top part called left atrium. The left atrium receives oxygenated blood, that is, oxygen-rich blood from the lungs. The left ventricle is the bottom left chamber of the heart. It pumps the oxygenated blood from the left auricle to the rest part of the body through the main vessel of the heart called the aorta. The heart also has valves which prevent backflow of blood and also prevent oxygenated blood from mixing with deoxygenated blood. These valves include the following: tricuspid valve. This is found between the right auricle and the right ventricle. We also have the pulmonary valves, which is found between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery. Then we have the mitral valves, or what we call the bicuspid valve, which is located between the left auricle and the left ventricle. Then lastly, we have the aortic valves, which is located between the left ventricle and the main vessel of the heart called aorta. In between the left side and the right side of the heart, it's a division called the septum. The septum is a thick wall of muscles which separate the left and the right side of the heart to ensure that oxygen-rich and oxygen-poor blood don't mix together. Now let's look at the heartbeat. The mammalian heart pumps the blood twice before it returns back to the lungs. This pumping action of the heart is called the heartbeat. The heartbeat is the sound you hear when your heart pumps blood around the body. It happens because the heart is a muscle that contracts and relaxes to move blood. Each heartbeat has two main parts: the contraction, called systole. In this process, the heart squeezes to pump or push blood out to the rest of the body. The second stage is called the relaxation or diastole. In this stage, the heart relaxes, allowing it to be filled with blood again. So the two process of heartbeats is divided into two: the systole and the diastole. The average heartbeat is about 60 to 100 times per minute. You feel your heartbeat by checking your pulse on your wrist or neck. It speeds up when you are active and slow down when you are resting. For example, when you just engage in an exercise, your heartbeat becomes faster. But when you are resting or sleeping, your heartbeat slows down. Now let's take a look at the blood vessels. The blood vessels are tubes or pipes through which blood flows from the heart to the rest parts of the body and back to the heart. The mammalian blood vessels consist of arteries, veins, and capillaries network. The arteries. The arteries are the blood vessels which carries blood away from the heart to the body. Arteries have thick muscular wall with small lumen or canal. The wall are elastic to withstand the high pressure when blood flows through it, coming from the heart. Veins are blood vessels which carries blood from the body to the heart. They are less elastic than the arteries and they have a very large lumen or canal. They have valves which prevent backflow of blood between or they have valves which prevent backflow of blood because of reduced pressure. Capillaries, on the other hand, are tiny blood vessels joining the arteries to the veins. They are found in the junction between arteries and veins around tissues and organs of the body. Capillaries have thin walls and are tiny in order to penetrate all parts of the internal organs. The wall of the capillaries makes it easy for diffusion of oxygen, nutrients, and waste products between the cells and the blood. The human circulatory system provides an effective way of distributing materials within the body. This is made possible by blood and lymph, which represent the media of transportation in man. We will look at the composition of the blood and the lymph, including their function. Composition of the blood. The blood is a tissue in fluid form, and an adult man have about 5 to 6 liters of blood. Blood is made up of two major components, which include the blood cells or corpuscles, which are solid, and two, the plasma fluid. Let's look at this one after the other. The blood cells or corpuscles. There are three types of blood cells or corpuscles, which include red blood cell or erythrocytes, white blood cells or leukocytes, and the blood platelets, also called thrombocytes. The red blood cell or erythrocyte. The red blood cells, also called erythrocytes, are small, round, and biconcave or disc-like in shape. They have no nucleus, and 1 cubic liter of blood have about 5.2 million of red blood cells. The normal lifespan of red blood cell is about 120 days, that is 4 months, before they are being destroyed by the liver. The red blood cells are mainly produced by the bone marrows, and the red color of the cell is due to the presence of an iron compound called hemoglobin. The function of red blood cell. The pigment hemoglobin in the red blood cell helps it to transport oxygen from the lungs to the cell body. When hemoglobin combines with oxygen, it forms another compound called oxyhemoglobin in the lungs. Now let's look at white blood cell. The white blood cells, which are also called leukocytes, are irregular and amoeboid in shape. They are large, colorless, and contain nucleus. They are larger than red blood cell in diameter, but they are fewer in number to the red blood cell. There are about 5,000 to 10,000 of white blood cell in 1 cubic milliliters of blood. They are made in the red bone marrows and the lymph, including the spleen. White blood cells can live for many months before they are destroyed. There are two types of white blood cells. These include the phagocytes. The phagocytes are found in the lymphatic system, where they ingest bacteria, viruses, and dead cells and help in preventing diseases. The injection of materials by phagocytes is called phagocytosis, and hence such white blood corpuscles are called phagocytes. The second type of white blood cell are the lymphocytes. The lymphocytes produce antibodies, and they are made in the lymph nodes. They produce chemicals called antibodies which stick to the surface of germs and kill them. Function of white blood cells. The white blood cells help to defend and fight against diseases by either ingesting them or producing antibodies that kill disease-causing organisms. The blood platelets. The blood platelets, also called thrombocytes, are tiny irregular cell fragments without nucleus. They are produced in the red bone marrows. Platelets are fewer in number and also smaller in size than the red blood cells. About 250,000 to 400,000 platelets are present per millimeter cube of human blood. The function of platelets. Platelet aids in the blood clotting and also in healing of wound. The other part of the blood, which is the liquid portion, is the blood plasma. The plasma is the liquid component of the blood. It is a pale yellow liquid made up of mainly water, about 90%. Many substances are dissolved in the blood plasma, including plasma protein, antibodies, hormones, enzymes, gases, digested food, salts, and other waste products. The function of the blood plasma. The blood plasma helps to transport materials which are dissolved in it around the body, as well as cells that float in it. Let's look at a summary of this lesson. In this lesson, we have learned the following. The circulatory system refers to the continuous movement or flow of blood around the body. The human circulatory system consists of the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. The heart in human is a muscular organ which helps to pump the blood and send it to the rest part of the body. In human, the heart is four-chambered. The heart chamber include the right and the left auricle, which are the upper chamber, and the left and right ventricle, which are the lower chamber of the heart. The blood is a tissue in liquid form. It is the fluid that carries materials around the body of humans. The components of the blood include the red blood cell or erythrocytes, the white blood cell or leukocytes, the platelets or thrombocytes, and the blood plasma or the plasma fluid. The red blood cell transports oxygen around the body and carbon dioxide out of the body. The white blood cell fights against infections and diseases. The platelets help in blood clotting and healing of wounds, while the plasma fluid helps to transport materials like digested food, waste products, gases, hormones, vitamins, and so on around the body of animals. The types of blood vessels include arteries, which carries blood away from the heart, veins, which takes blood to the heart, and capillaries, which help in the exchange of materials between the blood and the different cells and tissues of the body. That will be all for this lesson on circulatory system. You can go back to watch the video over and over again so as to get acquainted with the concepts explained in this lesson. Make sure to revise everything in this lesson because we are going to be having an online quiz on the circulatory system, which will be posted later in this week. Till we see again, keep reading, for readers are leaders. Bye.